Hello, class. My name is Dr. Long. I'll be your professor for this semester. This class is 2112 American History 2. And of course, this is an online class. I'm delighted to have you in the class this semester. I hope you learn a lot and hope you have a wonderful experience in the class. I imagine a lot of you are taking this class so that you have more flexibility with your schedule, and certainly it is designed for that. That we do have work to complete, and I'll talk more about that in a little bit, but it is designed for flexibility. Now, first things first, I have sent you the syllabus via the email that you have. It is also on D2L. Please read the syllabus very carefully. The syllabus is your roadmap for this class. It details all assignments and policies and due dates, and it should tell you pretty much everything you need to know about the class. Now, a very key section of the syllabus is called the course schedule, and that's down towards the very end. The course schedule lists things we're doing week by week. So it tells you all of your readings, all of your assignments and due dates, and so forth and so on. The purpose of this is so that you know all of that from the very outset and that you can plan accordingly. I know you probably have other things going on in your life, and you can know in advance when you have things due in my class. So please use the course schedule. It's there for you. Also, as reminders, and I try to put a lot of reminders in the class so people don't forget, there is a calendar in D2L. If you look on the D2L page, down on sort of the right-hand side, it's kind of a rolling calendar, and it will update on deadlines that are coming up in the coming weeks. Really, it doesn't show everything for the whole semester. It shows things, in the coming weeks. So please pay attention to that calendar as kind of a reminder for yourself. Last but not least, another really important way that I try to remind you of deadlines and talk about different assignments is the announcements on D2L. Announcements are where I will describe assignments and tell you what you have to do and instructions on where to go to do it. So please read announcements very carefully. And of course, I also list the deadlines for assignments on the announcements as well. Now, as you've can already see, I've been talking about D2L a lot, right? This is an online class, so of course we're going to use D2L very heavily in this class. If you're not familiar with D2L, please play around and familiarize yourself with it. Go on to there and click through things, look around, and find things. You'll find that most items for our class, if you go up to the top of the page and look under the tab Content Items and click on that, and down to the sub-tab Content, most items on a sort of chapter-by-chapter basis for our textbook are found under Content Items and Content. There are resources under there to help you study with, to help you understand the chapter. There are links to the chapter itself. There are short primary source documents that you can read under additional primary sources. And there are quizzes that you'll take for each chapter. So there is a lot of material under Content Items and Content. And that's where you can likewise find the syllabus and find a number of other important documents for the class. On D2L, there are a few things, as we'll see throughout the semester, that you will find under the tab Assessments and under the tab Communications. And I'll talk more about that later as those come up, but those are a few other places you'll be going to on D2L as well. Now, for our class, this is an online class, and the textbook for the class is an online textbook. It's a free, again, online textbook called the American Yap. It's been well reviewed, and the beauty of it is there's a link to it, and you can access it immediately. You can begin reading immediately and begin working immediately. I've sent the link out to you on the email that you have. It is also on the syllabus, and it is also within D2L. So you should be able to get a hold of the textbook and read it online for the rest of the semester. Now, I know that some people like reading online and some people don't. So if you really insist on having a hard copy of the textbook, you can actually order a hard copy. It will run about, I believe, about $25, around that amount. And if you look on the syllabus, there are instructions and links on where you can order a hard copy. It is by no means required. If you're comfortable reading textbook chapters online, you can just go to the link and do that all for free. So that should be very convenient for you and give you a couple of options for the textbook there. If you want to read it as a hard copy, order volume 2, because this is American History 2. You will have to read chapter 15 online, by the way. But for the rest of it will be on volume 2. And if you really want the hard copy, go ahead and get that now. Otherwise, for the class, you will have a term paper due towards the end of the semester. And for that term paper, you will need to purchase a book by David Howard Pitney on Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. I think you'll find it a very interesting book. It's short, it's sweet, it has a lot of primary sources from both of these important individuals, and that will be the basis of your term paper. You do not need that book immediately, and let me show you what it looks like before I talk about it a little bit more. But this is what the book looks like. Okay, so the full name and title and the ISBN number and everything like that is on the syllabus, so you can purchase it in the GHC bookstore or you can order it online. It doesn't matter to me. Wherever you want to get it, just go ahead and get it. You will not need it immediately. However, and this is very important, go ahead and purchase it now. And if you want to use an e-reader, that's certainly fine. But in any case, go ahead and get it now. Put it aside, bookmark it, whatever you need. That way you have it when you will need it later on in the semester. I have had students in the past who procrastinate ordering it, and then the bookstore's out, or they can't get it at Amazon or Barnes & Noble, and then they're in real trouble later in the semester. So don't let that be you. It is not very expensive. Just go ahead and get it and put it aside, and we'll come to that later in the semester. Now, on a regular basis in the class, you might be wondering, what sort of work do we have? Well, you can, again, go in D2L and look under the content items and content and see things chapter by chapter. You will be reading on a regular basis chapters out of the American Yap. There are also short primary sources, and you'll see those listed under the course schedule, and they are embedded within D2L. Short primary sources, and a primary source is a document that ties back to a historical event, such as an eyewitness account. You also have a short primary source for every chapter as well. So a chapter and a short primary source to accompany it. So that's what you'll be reading. As you read, I highly encourage you to take good notes or underline. That way you have things to look back on. The material will sink into your head and you'll learn it better if you do that. So make sure you're taking good notes as you go. And then once you've read the material, you will have quizzes based on the chapters and the short primary sources. There'll be a quiz for every chapter. And so you'll need to complete those by the deadlines. On occasion, we will have discussions. We have to do have a discussion the first go round here. And so you'll need to complete discussions. Discussions are under the communication tabs, and you'll see discussion and go into the discussion and contribute there. Now, your first work to get us started and kicked off in the class, you'll need to read the first 2 chapters for American History 2, and those 2 chapters for American History 2 are chapters 15 and chapter 16 in the American Yap. So you can go ahead and start reading those, taking notes, reading the 2 primary source documents that go with them, and then you'll take the quiz for chapter 15 and chapter 16 and contribute to our first discussion under the tab Communications, the sub-tab Discussion. Now, all of that work, chapter 15 and chapter 16 quiz and the discussion, is due in D2L on Sunday, September 1st at 11:30 p.m. And generally, by the way, chapter work is due on Sunday evenings at 11:30 p.m. Now, for details on how to do all that and for some tips on how to do well on that, please see my first announcement as listed on D2L. I won't repeat that. I'll let you read that at your own leisure. And that gives you detailed instructions about those things. Well, I hope this video has given you some more insight on the class. Again, welcome you to the class. I hope you have a great semester. This class certainly does require work. Again, there is flexibility, but there are deadlines to meet. If you have questions as we go along, just shoot me an email. That's the best way to reach me. Welcome again, and I look forward to interacting with you online. All right. Well, have a good day and a great semester. Bye.